Hey, third grade, it's Mrs. Wade here to give you your math lesson today. So today we're going to start our last chapter that we're going to do of this school year. Crazy, it's coming to an end. And it's going to be about fractions. So let's take a quick look. So if you want to, you could actually go ahead, and this is in your book. It's very helpful. It's on page, let me take a look, 386. So fractions can name one or more equal parts of a whole or of a set. So each of these fraction strips in the table are divided into equal parts. So if you look, you have one whole, 2 halves, 3/3, 4/4, and it keeps going down the line. It's kind of like sometimes when I talk about a whole note, it's 4 beats. So that means you would need 4 quarter notes to make one whole note. We use it in music too. So another thing you need to recognize is the top number is the number of equal parts, and which is called the numerator. The bottom number is the total number of equal parts in the whole entire thing, or the denominator. Okay, so we're going to take a look at some of this. So let me go ahead and share my Smartboard lesson for today so we can get started on this. Okay, so you got to think of fractions as parts of a whole. So 2 halves make one whole, 4/4 make one whole, 6/6 make one whole, and 8/8 make one whole. You got to think pizza or pie or those type of things are really helpful for you to think of when you think of fractions. So if I were to say cover half of the purple circle, I would obviously take this. So that means there's 1 half that's blue and 1 half that's purple. So 1 out of the 2, and that's why we write it like, let me get it to work. That's why we write it like this, where we go 1/2. We're saying 1 out of these 2 are blue, or 1 out of these 2 are purple. Okay, so, or if for another one, if you do 1/3 of it, so if I were to cut it up in thirds, I have 1, 2, 3, third of it. And then here, same thing, if I cut it up into 4, I have 1/4 of it. Okay, let's go to our next slide. Let me clear the drawing. Same thing over here, half of the purple square, 1/3 of the purple square, 1/4 of the purple square. Okay, you go through that. So the next section we have is parts of a fraction. So the top number is how many parts you are talking about. So what fraction of the bars are yellow? Well, there's 3 of them, but there's 4 total. The total number of parts is the denominator. So sometimes to remember, if you have trouble remembering, try to remember that the denominator is downstairs, the numerator is upstairs. That's a good way to remind yourself. So if I go over here and I go ahead and color to show 2 shaded in this. So I got 1, let's get a little section here. So here's, oh, it was kind of messy, but that would actually give me 2 out of 4. Or here, color to show a half shaded, 1 out of 2. So I'm going to color 1 out of the 2 of them, and that gives me a half shaded. Okay, let's keep going. We're doing great. Oh, I gotta clear my drawings. So here's a whole fraction. 1/4 of a fraction, you're talking about if you cut it up into 4, half of a fraction, you cut it up into 2, and 1/3, you cut it up into 3. So think about cutting things. So if you look up here, what fraction of this is shaded? So if we look right here, we have how many, first I want you to look how many are shaded. 1, so I'm gonna put 1 as my numerator. My denominator is the total amount, there's 4. So 1/4 is shaded. Same thing over here. There's 2 shaded. Out of the total number, the denominator is 3, 2/3. Okay, so that's how you go about that. Let's keep going, we're almost there. So if you look at this one here, with this given fraction, it wants to shade in the image as much as it's telling us. So 2/5. So we see here that there's 5. So what I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna go, here's 1, and here's 2. So 2/5. That's all it's doing. Your homework's gonna have you go ahead and do some of this as you go along. And then same thing here, 3/8. It has 8 parts, so I'm going to go ahead and I'd color in all 3 of them. It's hard to do it on the computer. So 3 out of the 8. Okay, so that's how we're going to go about, that's what fractions, a lot of you know fractions pretty well. So I have a short little video to show you. It's a number rock video that's very fun, so listen up. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. There were 5 pieces in one whole pie. The denominator of the whole pie was 5. The numerator of my part was 3, as 3/5 of the pie was for me. My mom made the apple pie out of Granny Smith's. She asked me if I liked it. I said, I plead the 5th.
The numerator's the part, the denominator's the whole, and fractions are parts of a whole.
3 birds were on a telephone pole. The denominator 3 was the group as a whole. The numerator 2, out of the thirds, described the 2/3 that were bluebirds. The numerator 2 described how many were blue. Then something fell on my head. It was bird poo. Bird poo.
The numerator's the part, the denominator's the whole, and fractions are parts of a whole.
Na 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 na. I took 4 shots on the goal. 3 went in, but 1 hit the pole. The denominator was all 4 shots. The numerator was the 3 goals I got. The other team's record had taken a toll. I got 3/4 summer shots and 1 Olympic gold.
The numerator's the part, the denominator's the whole, and fractions are parts of a whole.
A number line is every fraction between 0 and 1. Right in the middle is 1. Half and 1/4 is half of that. A fraction's parts you realize have to be the same size.
Hey, we're late for the game.
Hate to leave you guys.
Visit numberrock.com for exclusive content, lesson materials.
Okay, so that gives us just a funny little way to show you how to use fractions. So let's take a look at a few more things. I'm going to get us started on our homework today. So come on up here. Okay, so your homework today is actually going to be, if you look here on the Google form sheet, it's going to be numbers 1 through 13 on this workbook sheet. And then you're going to notice at the bottom here, there's going to be some other ones where you're just going to name the fraction. So if you look here, after you finish 1 through 13, you're going to answer those. You're going to tell what fraction of each shape is shaded. So for example, in A, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 out of 4. And how you can type it in is 3. You'll see a slash, kind of where the question mark is, /4. That'll give me 3/4. Okay, that's how you're going to answer those. But let's look back on number 1. If you look, pull out your workbook sheet if you need to pause this. It's workbook page 144, and I have all the pictures here in the Google form for you this time. So what you're going to go is write the fraction for the shaded part. So there's 1 out of 2 that are shaded. So 1/2. That's what I'm going to write. Okay, let's skip on down to numbers 5 through 13. All you're going to do is write each as a fraction. So 1/4 would be written as 1/4. Okay, so it's pretty self-explanatory. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know and make sure you turn it in through here. Okay, 3rd grade, that's all I've got for you today. Have fun looking at fractions and let me know if you have any questions. Okay, have a great day. Bye.